Okay, when you're creating the assembly for the rocket, you're going to need to put in the nose cone, the body. I would make the body be grounded, and then we need to put in the tail fins. To put in the tail fins, what you should do is just put in one tail fin, and then you'll use this feature up here called pattern to create the other tail fins in an array around the rocket body. So to begin with, I'm going to place in the tail fin, and as I said, I'm just going to place in one. So I'm going to place it over in here, and then I'll escape. Now what I want to do is to mate the tail fin in such a way that I will get it located on one side of the or one surface of the body of uh, the rocket. So to do that, there's many ways. You could come up with uh, all sorts of different ways to do that, and the main thing is to think of how you want to locate this and what you can use as reference points. So what I'm going to do to begin with, I'll show you one way to do it. I'm going to put the tail fin aligned with the center of the rocket, and then once I've got that, then I could offset it out by the radius of the rocket body, and then I can mate the top of the tail fin here to the bottom of the rocket and offset it up so that I know exactly where it is there as well. And that should be probably enough to be able to have it located the way I want it. So to begin with, I'm going to go to the tail fin over in the tree. I'm going to go to the XY plane of the body, and I'm going to mate that then the uh, to the XY plane uh, in the body. Sorry. So it's the XY plane in the tail fin to the XY plane in the body. So I'm going to constrain. I've already got this one selected, so it moves to the second selection. And so now I'm going to mate it to the XY plane, and it flipped upside down. I just need to click on the flush one here, and now I've got that applied. So now I'm going to say OK, or apply it, and I'm going to look at the bottom of the rocket now. And it looks pretty good, except for that it's inside the body of the rocket. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create another mate. I need to spin this around just a little bit more so that I can see it better. Out. So I get this around enough that you can actually use the free rotate over in here. You may find that easier to move things around. But now I'm going to mate this end surface. I'm going to take that and mate it to the YZ plane of the body. So I'm going to take the body, I'm going to go to the YZ plane, and again I'm going to do flush, or not flush, mate, and then now that's, again, I'm going to look at the body, and now it's exactly in the middle of the body of the rocket, which is not quite what I want. I want it to be offset out 5/8 of an inch. The reason it's 5/8 of an inch is I made the body of the rocket 1 1/4 inch is the outer diameter, so half of that is 5/8. So really, 1 1/4 is the same as 5/4. Half of that is 5/8. So I'm going to put in an offset up in the window here and make it 5/8. Say apply, and now I can see that it's exactly where I want it. So now I can go back to the home. Now what I need to do is to get it located up and down. So I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to take this top surface, and I'm going to mate it to, again, there's many different ways you can go about doing this, but I'm going to mate it to the bottom surface of the rocket. I'm going to go here, and there's the bottom surface of the rocket. Now again, if I look at it, that's not what I want. I want this to be further up. I know that I made this 2.5, and for my purposes, I've decided I want this point here to be right at the bottom of the body of the rocket. So since I've made this 2.5, I'm going to offset this 2.5. So I type in 2.5. Watch what happens, it actually goes down. That's the positive makes it go down. So I'm going to type in negative The nice thing is it shows me it as I go along, so I can just watch as I do it, and if it's gone the wrong direction, I can type in a negative. So now I can say apply, and again, if I look at the bottom of the rocket, now I've got it exactly the way I want. It's at 90 degrees, and it's uh, on the surface of the body of the rocket, and also it is located in the vertical direction where I want it. So now I'm done with the one tail fin. So I'm going to close my constraint window, and now the last thing I need to do is to use this pattern. So I'm going to click on pattern. I actually find it easier to click on the part first. So now I've selected that part, so that's what I'm going to pattern. I go into the pattern window, and I'm going to select circular pattern. And then now what I need to do is to identify the axis that it's going to array around. And if I go over the body of the vehicle, I get this axis in here, and that's exactly what I want, which is really the center of the body of the vehicle. Now look, it's put four of them going around, and so it's defaulted to four at 90 degrees. That's the angle in between each one. And so if I take a look at it from the top, it looks really good, right? I've decided I only want three tail fins, so I change this to three. However, now if I do that and I look at it from the top, I've only got three tail fins because the angle between is still at 90 degrees. So what I need to do is change the angle here. 360 degrees divided by 3 is going to mean 120 degrees is the angle between. And now when I take a look at this, it looks perfect. So now I can say OK, and I can go back to home, and I'll just rotate it around a little bit, and there's my rocket with the three tail fins. And so that's how to go about putting your tail fins into the rocket assembly using mates.